Hello and welcome to Coffee with Craig. It's Tuesday morning. There's some exciting things are going on today. In case you have not heard, National Reciprocity HR 38 is going to be heard today in Congress. So we want to encourage you to make sure you get your support in. Make sure you go to the link that is attached to this video in the description, or you can just go to passhr38.com and make sure you get your word in. Make sure folks know that you want them to support this measure. Now, you may have seen some reporting in the news today regarding some concerns that we here at the Firearms Policy Coalition have in relation to HR 38. Now, it's important to understand that, especially at the federal level where a number of bills don't really have what's called the issue of germaneness. Oftentimes, you can have stuff stuck in a bill that you may or may not like or support. We believe that H.R. 38 is a good bill. We believe that we have some concerns over some recent amendments that we believe doesn't make it as good of a bill. But once again, we still fully support it and support the idea and the concept of national reciprocity for concealed carry permits. One of the items that's included in this particular measure has to do with allowing federal judges and government employees, basically, to be able, not all government employees, but in this case, federal judges, to be able to carry a concealed weapon, a handgun, anywhere in any state. Now, once again, we don't have an issue with individuals being able to exercise their right to bear arms. We just have a concern when a specific segment of society is allowed to do so. In this case, we're talking retired law enforcement and federal judges. Judges in particular, because they are already protected. I mean, they go into courts, they surrounded with metal detectors, and they have metal detectors, and they have armed security there when they're in the courthouse. And they also have the right and the ability to get concealed carry permits just like the rest of us. In fact, in the state of California, there are a whole bunch of judges. Matter of fact, there was a study done back in August which noted that, interestingly, there were over 300 judges who had concealed carry permits. The largest amount, 87 justices, came out of the city of Los Angeles, a city that, quite frankly, hardly issues any concealed carry permits. In fact, I think I wouldn't want to go back and take a look at this, but I'm pretty sure that they constitute a huge percentage of those who've actually been allowed to receive a concealed carry permit in the city of in the city or the county of Los Angeles. But we oppose special rights. Once again, we're not talking about civil rights. Civil rights are for all people. Civil rights are for all citizens. Special rights are for special people. In this case, they're saying judges, and we don't support the idea of special rights. And in case you're wondering what I'm talking about, here's the actual language. Now here it says, basically, notwithstanding any provision of law of any state or political division thereof, a federal judge may carry and you see handwritten in there, concealed firearm in any state, if such judge is not prohibited by federal law from receiving a firearm. Now, I guess the first thing that kind of bugs me about it is, why are you pushing a bill through so fast that you don't even have time to put the amendments, type them and put them in writing? But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother issue. At least the amendments, at least it's all in print. We can see it, and we can actually take a look at it and have an opportunity to comment on it. But here was this AP article that I was talking to you about, and once again, they pointed out in this AP article that a lot of judges actually are already carrying, in particular here in the state of California, and a huge number of them, well, they're in anti-gun counties. Interesting, isn't it? But that's, so that's not the only issue or the only concern that we have with this particular measure. I mean, it's an important one, because once again, you're dividing people out. You're saying these special people get to exercise their right to bear arms, but the rest of you're going to be restricted. And also note that it doesn't include any testing requirements, which in many states you have. It doesn't require any courses to be taken, which once again, in many states you require coursework. Absolutely nothing except being a federal judge. One has to once again ask the question, once again, why are we providing special rights to special people? Now, the other issue that we have has to do with the issue of stop and frisk. Now, I know some of you out there are like, well, hey, you know what? I don't have any problem with stop and frisk. The challenge here is that, you know, in many cases, especially in some states, like in the state of California, where there's an ever-increasing number of laws, gun laws in particular, that are seeking to go after gun owners. The fact that law enforcement will be given the opportunity to basically just stop anyone they feel or they like and be able to frisk them is a problem. And once again, if you question whether or not what I'm telling you is true, well, here's the actual language. It says nothing in this act prohibits a law enforcement officer with reasonable suspicion of a violation of any law from conducting a brief investigative stop in accordance with the Constitution of the United States. Now, admittedly, I'll admit that is very vague, and I believe it's intentionally vague. And unfortunately, I think the only way we're going to find out exactly what that means is when people start getting stopped, and some folks try to push the envelope. Now, law enforcement, I love them, support them, put their life on the line for us every day. But we also know that law enforcement, just like every other profession, has some bad apples. Has some folks who push the envelope, all right? And the thing is that the law is supposed to help protect us in cases like that. I believe, and I think that Firearms Policy Coalition, I think we can state that that provision is awfully vague. And either needs or requires some clarification, or quite frankly, just needs to be removed altogether. Anyway, but once again, with all of that having been said, we support this measure. We encourage you guys to make sure you voice your support. It's going to be heard at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 10 a.m. West Coast time. So make sure you get your voice in, get your voice heard. Go to passhr38.com. It's real simple. It'll go to everyone who's going to be voting on this particular measure. And anyway, folks, that's going to be it for today. Oh, almost forgot to remind you, in case you guys didn't know, once again, we're doing a giveaway for everyone who participates in our call to actions. You're going to have an opportunity. You're going to be entered in each week to win some free swag that's been contributed to us by Boxer Tactical. We've got keychains. We've got tactical stockings. We've got white and black. See, we're multicultural here. Okay. We've also got tactical for those of you who don't see color. All right. So anyway, so we encourage you guys, get involved, help support, enter to win some free Christmas tactical swag. But we really appreciate all that you guys do to help us in the fight for civil rights. Because as we all know, we got to use them or we're going to lose them.
If you like our videos, follow, subscribe, like, and share.